These are some videos of classes we had to go to for contractor training.
Calling you to complain about something and you're reacting to it, and they're not satisfied to start with. They're more reluctant to pay you, which leads to a lot of your problems getting your bills paid. I can't tell you the number of customers that walk in my office, the employers of customers who walk in my office, and they're just very apathetic. They can care less, and you can read it in their face. And it's like they're on a ship without a rudder, and they know it. They know that you're behind, maybe paying bills or something, but there's a lot of negativity in that whole scenario. All this scramble mode, this reactionary mode that people find themselves in, causes them to be less stable because they're scrambling all the time. And finally, and the worst thing, is it's less time to enjoy your life. When you're in a reactionary mode like this, it's just not a good situation. What I'd like to do a little bit now, especially the things that people don't like to do. And you'll notice from this list, there's a lot of them. And if you run a business, and folks who have run a business, you understand you've got to be proficient in a whole lot of different areas. That when you have a business, all you do is set yourself up for liability. You have problems from the get-go. And you've seen the number of lawyer TV ads, and you've seen all kinds of commercials now. Everybody needs something to do, and there's a preponderance of lawyers out there right now. And so, your chances of finding yourself on the legal side of something is pretty good right now. So you want to make sure that you're setting up your business and structuring your business in a way that you're minimizing your liability. You also want to set it up so that you can minimize your taxes. Now, the rules have changed a lot since I own my business. But there are a lot of rules and regulations now that you really need to understand regarding not only what you do and the restrictions in operating your own business, but with your employees and all of the 9 yards of that. So you've got insurance needs as well. You cover for liability. Do you have adequate insurance in all the other areas? Because insurance, let's face it, insurance is just a way to protect you. And finally, if you ever plan on retirement, do you have a retirement program structure? And if you want to secure good employees, do you have a retirement program for them? All of these things, and there's many more. I mean, we could cover a whole lot of other subjects, but for time purposes, we're not. But you need to be talking, if you haven't already done so, and I'm assuming a lot of you have, but you need to be talking to legal people, and you need to be talking to financial people on making sure your business gets set up right. And if you're not sure on how to do that, then talk to some people who can help. Give me a comment. Pricing is one of your biggest issues out, and you all know it. The first thing that you have to do is you have to feel your markets out. You have to know which market will bear, and I hope your prices are close to that. What your market will bear. You have to experiment in order to find that out. You have to be asking your customers, what do you pay for different things? Gather information as much as you can. You can be really good or you can be really cheap. And you have to decide that on your own on how you're going to structure your business. But I will submit to you that you can't do both. You have to choose one course or the other. Price to give more than expected, not less. You've got to price yourself to serve your customers. That's really what they're paying for, is service, right? Business to make a profit. And like I said, I get through with conversations with some landscapers that I've known for a long time. And they're in a worse demeanor now than they were 5 years ago. And they're saying, I'm not making any profit. Well, if you can't make any profit, consider doing something else. You got to be able to make a profit if you're gonna run your business. In order to make a profit, you gotta know what it costs on that side of it. How do you find that information out? You have to set up systems to track your expenses. And some of this sounds elementary, guys. And it is common sense, but I can't tell you the number of people that really don't know what it costs them to perform a task. And he's willing to mow grass for $20 or $30 a yard. I know you're competing against that, but you still got to be realistic on what your expenses are. And factoring into that is how much do you want to make? There's so many people in our industry are deficient on. They don't spend a lot of time planning ahead, forecasting. They don't spend a lot of time budgeting their money. But forecasting and budgeting helps you know where your money needs to go. It helps control your cash flow. If you're gonna have a plan on growing your business, it helps you do that as well. And then that leads to better management of your time. It plans ahead for your seasonal inventory, personnel, and equipment needs. And like I said, I question sometimes y'all's business. If you can accomplish the two head of 90% of your competition, because we also deal with a lot of homeowners in our business. And the homeowners tell me, I can't find anybody who will show up and even give me an estimate. I can't find anybody to do the work. And so if you
would ask me when they planted the plant or the bottle plant, Thomas, how often do I need to water? That's a $1 million question, because there's really no set answer of saying that. When it needs it, it's when it is. It's a lot easier to bring water to a plant than it is to get water away from a plant too. So, finding it high and letting it dry out a little bit in between water is going to be, of course, the best thing. But I always told him if it wilts from being too dry, water it, it'll perk right back up. If it wilts from being too wet, pull it up and find another one. Of course, if it goes too long, it gets scorched and sunny, that can be an issue too. But usually you can correct too little water, a whole lot easier than too much. Plant nutrition.
If you have your customers referring you to their neighbors, you've got almost instant clients. You walk up there and you don't have to sell yourself. Your customer's already done that for you. All you have to do is explain to them wonderful one. And this was something that I learned the hard way as well. Accounts receivable is probably one of your biggest stigmas of your business. First thing I would recommend is do good work. Then turn around and ask for it. If you don't do good work, you're giving them every excuse not to give you your money, right? But once you do good work, ask for your money. And be ruthless. Don't stop. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt so much. I have customers who come in my office and they've gotten behind, and I've asked them what's going on. And they say, I've got this one contractor that owes me $30,000. And I said, well, do you have a good chance of collecting it? He said, yeah, I'm doing some jobs for him next week. I'm afraid if I don't keep doing them, that he's not going to pay me. Well, I want y'all to think about the logic of that. Another one again is good. Any of you who are doing contract work, and again, this is part of our wonderful legal system that we got going on now. If you're doing contract work, you better make sure that you review that contract and you bid it carefully up front before you accept the terms. Nobody is going to show you your mistakes in your bid until after you accept it. Right? A contractor is going to be happy to point out the mistakes in your bid after you have signed the dotted line. So understand that part of it. Those contracts, by the way, were not written to help you. Those contracts were written to help the people that you're doing the work for. Habitual late payers, we all have had some, right? They're either spending more money than they got, or they just didn't keep your money. And lastly, the court system. Learn how it works. If you're doing contract work, you need to learn the lien system, that you take out liens on a job so that the contractor cannot walk away from the job without getting you paid. Now, it might take you 2 to 3 years to get your money, but at least you'll get it. As far as the small claims court system, how many of you have ever been there? Okay. I think you've probably learned real quick that they could care less whether you get your money or not. They don't care. After time, they can't even get the guy that you want the judgment against certain. And just because you get a judgment don't mean you're going to get your money. So I suggest something else to you. I suggest you worry and let the snot out of that person to get your money up front. Unless they've gone bankrupt on you, and then you're kind of up the creek. But I've done everything from sitting in driveways every morning, literally worry somebody to death until they got a court order telling me to stop. The squeaking wheel's gonna get you greased. And if you aggravate somebody enough, they're gonna pay you just to get you out of there. If that makes sense. Any comment? All right. Accounts receivable is your job. And if you're dealing about this, I'm a vendor. I'm a guy that you can come and do business with. And we appreciate your business. Every one of you that we have business with, we really appreciate it. Evaluate the worth of your vendors. We are in the service business to you, just like you are your customers. And the vendors that give you the best advice and look after you and service you ought not to worry about paying them a little extra. I really get tired of getting beat up over 5 cents a bag. Well, so-and-so can sell it to me cheaper. Well, who do you call for your information? You know, if you're going to buy it 5 cents cheaper from so-and-so, then go ask him all these questions. There's a real shortage right now of labor. You cannot find people that want to work. And you're going to call them. My philosophy in business, and I've heard a lot of different approaches, but I believe in paying well up front and then expecting a heck of a lot back. And if you don't get it, you need to get rid of it. Y'all employees hear that too? If you're not doing a good job, we're going to talk about that. We'll address it a little bit later. There are ways that you can help your own cause, employers. If you would do simple things, and this is another Danny idea, create a bonus pool. And when you have your customers call in to praise your operation, put a little extra money, and of course let your employees know you're doing that. But when you hear a lot of complaints out there, you reach in there and in that pool and you take some money out. And what that does is that creates in your employee circle peer pressure. They're not going to put up with losing so much of that pool for so long. And they're going to help reprimand these people that are causing the problem. Another good thing that y'all can do to help yourself, and we're going to touch on this also a little later, is to look at your employees and figure out where your talent lies. And figure out ways to give them more responsibility in that area of your business and reward them. Give them a chance to own that aspect of your business. I don't mean own it literally, but if they take possession of it, it takes it off your shoulders. That makes sense? The last 2 topics I'm going to touch on in the next slide. training, safety. If you don't have an organized way of getting that done in your business, then you're really missing out on something important. And let's talk a little bit about that. This adage right here causes more small businesses to fail, in my opinion, than most any other subject. A lot of businesses fail because people assume that the people under them know how to do their job. And they don't. And for this new crowd of millennials that's coming along now, they don't know how to do anything. Okay? Yeah. And guys, there's an article right now on the internet saying what's wrong with millennials. And it's a psychologist that came up with this. It's one of the best things I've ever been on. They need to be trained by us. We're going, as an industry, any label we get out of that pool, we're going to have to train from scratch. We're going to have to train them off this telephone. We're going to have to train them how to do stuff. And so your ability to train them is going to be monumental to y'all moving forward. Don't assume they know anything. The way I do it in my business is when I hire somebody, I teach them every step of every operation to the point that they look at me and say, I got it. Okay. I worry them to death with the training. You hold the document, regular training meetings, that will pay dividends. You've got your own salary to worry about. You've got your family to worry about. Every employer that hires you goes home every night and not only worries about his own stuff, he's worried about your stuff too. He's worried about how to get you paid the next week. He's got a lot on his shoulders. And if you don't believe it, then go out and run your own business and hire him on help. It is a monstrous burden on your back all the time. So I hope that you employees recognize and appreciate the fact that your employer stuck his neck out for you. Your job is to help him with his business. That is your main job. He didn't hire you for the fun of it. He hired you because he needs your help. You need to be helping him. And what you do off the job affects your performance. It affects your performance not only on your job, but it affects your performance with your family and everything else in your life. So for those of you who have a preponderance to go off on the weekend and pull a drunk and can't show up work on Monday morning, you're really jeopardizing your own life. I want everybody to succeed, not only the businesses, but I want the employees to succeed too. Just safety first always. No texting while driving is a good example. A month ago, I was following electrical contractor pickup in front of me going down 70 toward Goldsboro. We were both doing about 65, 70 miles an hour. Two guys in the front of the pickup, I could see them looking back and forth talking to one another. All of a sudden, the truck veers off the road, down through the ditch, jumps, goes airborne into a used car parking lot, takes out 4 cars, jumps back across the ditch, and lines up in the road in front of me. I was able to stop. Luckily, the 2 boys in that pickup, both of them jumped out with cell phones in their hands. Both of them jumped out, neither was hurt. Now, y'all know what kind of catastrophe that was probably, the liability that the owner had to put up with just for that little bit. Nobody got killed, nobody got hurt. People could have died. That's the kind of stuff that happens when you take you put your stupid hat on for 1 minute. And people can't have that. If you as an employee wants to make more money, then make yourself indispensable. Figure out a way to set yourself apart from all your other employees. I used to make a game of it when I went to work, and I worked with about 3 different people. I made a game, and I told the rest of the employees there, how I'm gonna work y'all under the table. I'm gonna make sure that whatever pie that's left at the end of the year, I'm gonna get more of that pie than y'all get. And that was a game that I played. So make yourself indispensable. The employee is the employer's most important salesperson. Everything that you do affects that ability of that employer to keep your customer base and keep everybody happy. And you can lose more business with your attitude and your performance on a job than he can gain through marketing or anything else. And God help, if any of you are thinking this one right, I have so many guys come in my office, they're employees, and we're busy, we're racked up in the back, and I say, it might take a minute to get loaded. That's all right. I'm being paid anyway. I don't care. Or they're sitting in traffic on I-40. That's all right. I don't mind sitting there because I'm on the clock. Don't let your employer or me ever hear that statement come out of your mouth because I'm going to report you. The more expenses you create, the less money you get as an employee. That's automatic. So any way that you can help your employer by cutting his expenses, at least gives you an opportunity to get something more out of it. And finally, and this is a good old adage taught by Christ himself. If you go read the parable of the workers, you as an employee, I don't care what you're making, whether you feel like you're making good wages or bad, you agree to work for the amount you're being paid. Think about that. Now let's talk about customer management. And this is one that a lot of you can improve on. Command realistic expectations. The worst thing you can do is oversell your ability. What you need to be doing is knocking down their expectation, whatever it is. And we've all had customers that had it way up here. The way I handle this one is when I go in to do an estimate, I don't do much talking. The first thing out of my mouth, tell me about your problem. Tell me what you think. And then they'll proceed to let you know that they expect a perfect yard and they've already fired 3 other landscapers in front of you. Well, there's a flag right there. And if you don't ask those questions and let them talk, you don't find that information out a lot of times. You need to spend the rest of your presentation knocking down that guy's expectation level because apparently they're way too high for what he's got. This one here is very important. And I cancel customers over this one in my business. If you don't trust me to do the work on your property, then you need to go find, it's not, I don't take it personal. It's just a matter of fact that you need to go find somebody you trust. If I'm not your man, that's fine with me. But I demand, if I do the work on your property, that you trust what I'm gonna do. And I might have to make a split-second decision on what I'm gonna do. It might cost you a little more money. If you don't trust that, then I'm not your man. I don't wanna work for you. Y'all need to get off properties of people that don't trust you, because they'll ruin you. Cancel problem customers. All these people that, I was just telling you about the folks who get the phone call. Cancel problem customers and make them pay for it. If they're going to be a pain in your butt, then make them pay for it. Raise your price. If you lose them, so what? Let the next guy, let your competitor have it. That's fine. If you're marketing, you can make that up. Right? Use your heads. You're better off using bad work. Even if it's your best client. If they ask you to do something that's just totally ridiculous, and tell them you ain't gonna do it. They're not gonna fire you if you're doing good work. But a lot of you guys get yourself in so much trouble because you're good-hearted, accepting things that you shouldn't have done to start with. Right? Right. don't always try to be the lowest bidder. If you're getting every project too low, you're leaving money on the table. And that's dangerous. You ought to be experimenting in your bids so that you're missing something and finding out what the market can say. Does that make sense? And there's another strategy, another reason for doing that. The projects now are getting bid really, really low. We've got some companies coming in, and y'all are walking away from some of these bids going, there ain't no way in the world that project can be done for that amount of money. It's okay. Bid at what you can make a good profit on. And y'all know the labor situation, what's gonna happen in a lot of cases is those contractors gonna come back to you going, that other guy defaulted because he couldn't do it. And then you got a price you can do it for him. You don't have to meet that other guy's price. When he asked you, can you meet the other guy's price? You said he had no. That's the reason I didn't bid it that way to start with. Somebody's gonna still do the work. You might as well make some money. And finally, if you've done a good job, and if the customer trusts you and is happy with you, you can advise the customer to feel good about paying more for something if they like the situation. Does that make sense? Finally, managing your sales. The parameters that we've talked about in this presentation, there's a lot of different